Hi, my name is Jacob Cogley, and this is my family assessment project for Nursing Lab 334. So, for my assessment, I used Duvall's theory and Freeman's model to form a general idea of the family's health and history. Uh, for HIPAA purposes, the family's last name I'll consider as Doe. So, as above is a composition table of the family, and outlined are 4 members of the family: Sam, Shelby, Gianna, and Waylon. Sam is the father, who is 27 years old, and he has a bachelor's in criminal justice and is currently unemployed. Shelby is the mother, who is 28 years old. She has associates in general education, and currently she is a homemaker. Gianna is the daughter. She is just over 2 years old, and Waylon is the son, who is 18 months. The genogram above listed is for Sam and Shelby. Starting with Sam's side, Sam didn't know his parents very well. They didn't have a very bad connection, but he didn't very much know them. He does keep in touch with them still, but as far as I could get out of him was that his father's name is Samuel. He's 55 years old and he's healthy, and his mother's name is Deborah. She's 54 and she's healthy. Sam, like I said, is 27-year-old. He's considered healthy, and he's an ex-Army police guard who just got out of the Army about 5 months ago. Moving over to Shelby's side, Shelby's parents are Billy, 48, and Tammy, 50. Billy has a past medical history of mental health issues and is currently a construction worker. Tammy has past medical histories of hypertension and a history of breast and cervical cancer and is currently working as a coder for hospitals. Shelby is considered healthy and is an ex-Navy IT worker, fresh out of the Navy about 2 months. Waylon and Gianna are both considered healthy by physician standards. For the eco map, 1 line represents a weak relationship, 2 lines represent a strong relationship, a tense relationship is a line with 3 dots through it, and then there's direction of energy flow is used with arrows. So starting with the top left, Shelby's mother. The family has good standing with Shelby's mother and a very strong relationship. Moving clockwise, Shelby's father has a weaker relationship with him due to the past history between the two and his mental health issues. Sam's parents have a strong relationship with the family. The Army services, for Sam specifically, have a tense relationship geared towards the Army due to how he was discharged. He did not enjoy how he was discharged due to him feeling like he should not have been discharged. Shelby's grandparents have a strong relationship with the family. The friends have a strong relationship with the family. And the new family physician that they're seeing now that they have moved down to Louisiana has already a strong relationship with them. Moving on to Duvall stages. There's 8 stages within the Duvall's pyramid. Currently, the family resides in stage 3, or preschool age. This is evidenced by Gianna being over 30 months old, the integration of another child in the family in the form of Waylon, Gianna starting toilet training and independence training recently, Gianna is beginning to share, and the father, Sam, is in the process of role change in the form of a job change. Communication patterns. So, starting with conversation orientation. The parents communicate and understand their roles. The parents split care of the children, and they avoid pointless arguments. These 3 things combined together create a high conversation orientation. Moving over to the conformity orientation. Parents feel comfortable, they express their feelings, and feel secure in their marriage. These 2 things also suggest a high conformity orientation. 2 highs on both of these signal for a consensual type of communication between the family. Moving on to power base and overall continuum. Starting off with Sam for power base, it is believed that he is a referent power. This is evidenced by Gianna seeing Sam as a role model and beginning to copy him in what he says and how he acts. Shelby is the legitimate power of the family. She tends to have the final say in most decisions made between her and Sam. Gianna follows the reward power base. She has been begun being positive by sharing, and in turn uses this for favors like snacks from the parents. Finally, Waylon is the helpless power, since he is still an infant and in turn has no control over what really happens in the family. The overall family experiences egalitarian family dynamics. This is because while Shelby usually has a final say in the decisions, both will usually agree before making big decisions. Waylon and Gianna are too young to make decisions. An example of this would be where a decision were to eat out ultimately lies with Shelby, but Sam can still influence it. However, Waylon and Gianna have no influence over this decision. Role structure. Starting with Sam. Sam has 3 roles: provider role, childcare role, compromiser. Currently, he's the spouse hunting for a job, making him the primary role for provider, even though he does not have a job. He also helps care for the kids in free time, making him a compromiser into the childcare role. Shelby is the housekeeper role, childcare role, and the encourager. She tends to stay at home to care for the kids in the home and encourages Sam to share ideas, as evidenced by Shelby listening to him to make decisions. John and Waylon currently have no role due to them being too young in age. Family values. The main values of parents, since Waylon and Gianna can't really have legitimate values, is that both parents value education highly. They are both Christians. They both value health maintenance very much. They value the future, and they value fair treatment. Healthcare. Both parents are firm believers in healthcare. They define health as not being ill. They follow yearly dental and physical exams and make sure both children are up to date on vaccines. They tend to take their health advice from their now primary physician, but before they moved, they took their main health advice from their past physician. Due to Tammy's history of breast cancer, cervical cancer, and hypertension, I believe Shelby is at risk for this, and Sam has no known risk. Family stressors. So, like previously stated, Sam got out of the Army about 5 months ago. This is the primary reason for Sam's unemployment. Shelby got out of the Navy 2 months ago. This is a secondary reason for Shelby being also in employment. One of the main stressors the family is currently facing is going to be their move. They moved about 2 months ago from Connecticut down to Louisiana. And another one of their main stressors is going to be caring for 2 young children, seeing as they're still very young adults. Coping. They usually cope using role flexibility. Sam will take up the role of child giver whenever Shelby feels fatigued or tired of it. Increased family time. Whenever the family is feeling a bunch of stress, they'll usually spend time with each other to unwind and try to feel better. Family group reliance. When something needs to be done that one parent cannot handle, the parent will rely on another one to fill in the needs for them. And social support. Shelby is originally from Louisiana, which influenced her decision to move back down here, meaning she has a lot of family and a lot of past friends within miles of her now. Moving on to actual data. Relocation stress syndrome related to moving from Connecticut to Louisiana, as evidenced by fatigue from recent movement and Sam's trouble finding a job. The main goal for this would be adaptation to the new environment and a job found for Sam. This outcome is partially met. The family is adjusting to the new home, but the father is still having trouble finding work. Interventions for this would include getting to know community/neighbors and Sam finding a job security and thus relieving the stress the family is currently facing. At risk for Nanda. The family is at risk for caregiver role strain related to financial burden, as evident by both parents being out of work and bills to pay. The goal in this would be for Sam to find job security. This outcome is not achieved, seeing as Sam is unemployed. Interventions would include to expand his job search to not only include security/police related work, which is what he's aiming for since that's his background, but he could also apply to jobs that are further out from the Hammond area. These are my references, and thank you.